Hi everybody! We're back with Grave New World, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG. But before we get started, I want to say it's time to Hinga, Dinga, and Durgan because it is Leif Erikson Day. So we're going to celebrate our Viking heritage. And if you don't have Viking heritage, too bad you're a Viking today. Now,
I do have Viking
God, there's a
heritage.
specific set of millennials that will get that joke, and no one else.
Damn, that's our target audience.
um, so today we're starting off. We don't have mana at the beginning, but they will be joining us later on. I have gifted my players with a task to introduce each other today. So let's get started. Let's just start with that, Kyle. Introduce yourself and then do the thing.
I'm Friendly Neighborhood Pat Kyle here. You can find me on Mondays, the correct day, to be playing Jacob King, our friendly half-demon stoner oracle. Thursdays, you can find me playing in our King's Pyrite 5e game. That is a Fool's Gold campaign. And there have been a lot more tentacles than I expected. Besides that, you can't really perceive me anywhere else because social media just is exhausting and I don't have the energy for it. And of course, my fun fact, because that's what we're doing, is about Jack Aldridge. And that fun fact is Jack Aldridge has a tattoo that not even his handlers know about. And the only other person who knows is a tattoo artist in New Orleans who got very drunk with him one night.
And now I have to think of a tattoo.
Now you do.
I am Bison_Stonefist. I'm pretty much the most perceived person on this channel. When it comes to this channel, I'm here 4 nights a week. Tonight I'm playing Jack, not a cop, Aldridge, the Mennonite Commando. On Tuesday nights, I run our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. There is a boss fight that has been loading for like 3 weeks. I'm just waiting to finally actually... We're getting there. I promise. Thursdays, I am also on the Fool's Gold game, King's Pyrite. I play Encino, the recently thawed Dragonborn Paladin. On Saturdays, I play Sid Brimlock on our necrobiotic game, Dead to Rights, the perpetually broken in the physical sense engineer.
Hey, we patched you up a little bit.
A little bit. I'm halfway there. I'm still the warning music has stopped. The Pokemon. And my fun fact is that Ms. Cheryl Dar has a different outfit for every day of the week so that it coordinates with her classes.
Yeah, of course. I'd never wear a clashing color when I go out with my other friends or go to different lectures. Hi, my name is Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. I'm trying to be a medium perceived person on our Discord and our Dirty 20 gaming group. So you can only find me 2 nights currently. Tonight is Monday night. Congratulations. Happy Thanksgiving, my fellow Canadians. And you can find me playing Miss Cheryl Da. Friday nights, you can find me playing a Stealing Stories for the Devil TTRPG, where I play Tyler Nicky, a 12-year-old shred bro. Super cool. But besides that, you can find me on my link tree. You can go look at the Instagram, the TikTok, a number of other things. And I had to come up with a fun fact about Ash Lexington. Ash Lexington, our Slayer, has an on again, off again kind of crush, kind of like half relationship with the guy that makes smoothies at the Booster Juice on campus named Malcolm. So she frequents it on like often, and that's why we're always seeing them with a smoothie. And they honestly have just been using that as an excuse to see Malcolm, the cute juicer.
It's on the other side of campus. It's not even close to the library.
It's difficult. It's very difficult.
That's why they're always late.
Yes, that's why they're always late.
Okay. Mana will have to make up a fact about Yay, but in the meantime, I am going to introduce myself. I am Chris, aka Wayward Knight. I am your director for tonight's game. I am also an artist, and I put my stuff on the internet for your consumption. You can find me there. I am on Instagram for all of your latest updates. And you can also purchase my art should you feel so inclined. Remember to support your small and local artist friends, please and thank you. Now, I'm going to make up a fact about producer Kevin because he can't stop me. Producer Kevin once wrestled a mountain lion, but I'll let you know, or I'll let you guess who won. Anyway.
What's another name for a mountain lion? All I'm saying. All I'm saying. All I'm saying.
We can't even see his face right now. Anyway, let's get started, you guys. This is more of a free form episode because you guys are prepping for the Battle of Cleveland, essentially. If you guys lose, there's gonna be a hellmouth open in this city. So what are you guys gonna do about it?
I suggest high explosives, but I don't actually have access to high explosives. But I don't want to try to make them.
Ask Jack what he could get his hands on in terms of high power and also high explosives.
Certainly a possibility.
Jack, you know that's going to take a lot of acquisition requests.
Yeah.
And explaining.
Yeah, and a lot of blanks that haven't been filled. They're going to want to know more about, because Jack's been a little light on the reports lately. Not wanting to out people.
I suppose we don't necessarily know that you could. It's just you had a firearm. So
yeah,
if you say not likely, then we can look into trying to get something out of the chemistry department. See if there's anything that we would have access to. Shell's going to research, see if any high luminosity reactions that give off radiation is a similar effect like daylight has on vampires.
Gotcha. Okay. That's gonna be an intelligence perception for research.
Can I flirt with a chemistry nerd? Sorry, oh god damn, it's about vampires specifically. Okay, I will. Yeah, I'll just try and do that. That is intelligence and history.
Perception.
You said perception.
Because you're
not
searching.
where I thought that was going to go. I was like, wait, don't get Cheryl on a watch list. Hold on here.
Oh yeah, intelligence perception.
Mm-hmm.
Could I do occultism because this is an occult topic instead of one of those?
You can do intelligence science.
I'll do the intelligence perception. That is a total of 14.
You find some, like, imagine the reaction that goes off in a glow stick, but a little more intense. Basically formulas for something like that. Like a college
my
chemistry.
My question was if any chemical reactions that do exist, if any bright, not the sun, could affect a vampire negatively. It's that
you were
element.
Looking for the
I wasn't
formulas.
looking for for a reaction. I'm
you were looking for like
if it can affect a vampire. Can I make a flashbang for a vampire? Have I heard tale of that?
Okay, I'm so sorry. In that case, yes, you can roll occultism.
Okay, I'll use the original roll then, and it's 16 instead.
Okay. You get the understanding that vampires aren't really affected by simulated daylight. If I remember correctly from my research in the Buffyverse, it's kind of contentious whether UV light actually like hurts them or not in terms of like simulate like synthetic UV like from a light bulb.
My brain doesn't want to tell me whether or not they did something like that in season 3 with the initiative. Or was that season 2?
That was season 5.
Really?
Or the initiative was season 4, sorry.
4, yeah. It was a number between 1 and 7.
It was one of them. I want to say they didn't. The initiative episode is burned into my brain for some reason. Not episode, season.
Yeah. Secret Riley fan?
Not like I wasn't a secret Riley fan, but I'm not as big a fan of Riley as I used to be. I wasn't like a Riley stan, but I didn't hate him like all my friends did. No, I think what you find is that simulated daylight doesn't like tend to work against them. I think you also find that even in the occult community, it's contentious because like electric UV lights are so new, it's hard to find any like up-to-date information.
All right.
Okay. So what we obviously need to do is get a tanning bed, go kidnap some vampires, and just kind of chuck them
I
in
guess
one
I
at a
asked
time.
Danny, I go, do you mind doing an experiment for me and coming with me to a tanning salon?
How is this relevant?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out whether or not vampires are negatively affected by any ultraviolet or visible light spectrum radiation.
Sure. Why not?
All right, I buy him I buy him a tanning session and wait outside.
You hear screaming.
Let's see what the dice decide.
If you're nervous, just put your hand in there.
Yeah, he sticks his hand in the tanning bed and he's like, it's warm. I don't feel like I'm burning.
All right.
Do vampires am I capable of tanning? Is the melanin still active? And he's just like looking at his hand like,
well, you have
he went a little nerdy.
A full hour that out if you'd like to. Now that we know that it doesn't hurt you, you can get your skin color up to whatever pigmentation you like.
I'm good.
You're already here.
Do you want me to get a tan?
It's kind of a funny bit. I won't push it any farther. Act like I didn't say anything. I'm gonna try and use reverse psychology to convince this man to get a tan. So if he gets convince this vampire.
Make me a willpower influence roll.
It's been a while since I've done one of those.
Meantime, all I'm thinking is it's gonna smell like pork jerky after a while because
and I'm pretty, so that is a 14 only. I rolled a natural 2.
He also rolled a 14.
So who wins in that? Do we roll again?
Meets it, beats it, goes to defender. So he's gonna say, I think I'll pass. I think I have better things to do with my time.
Suit yourself. I kick him out of the tanning bed and I get a sick tan.
He's like, fine, whatever, and he just like walks away.
Well, Danny's gone. Ye's gonna come to a realization and then text the group that does not involve Danny. Did
you ever make a group text that involves Danny?
No, but I just felt the need to stress, just in case.
There's a break in case of emergency group text.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
nothing's been sent into.
No, not even one emoji yet. But Ye's gonna be like, I'm pretty sure Danny's ring is what Kip was talking about. So if we survive this, we're gonna have to talk to Danny about his ring because I don't want Kip coming back.
How
Is this in
again?
the
I
plus
wasn't.
Julian group text, or is it?
Yeah, it's
in
the plus
just...
Julian.
Okay.
Because Julian knew about Kip too. Julian got to experience Kip.
Oh yeah, Julian did. So you get
Jack's
a
response
text
is,
back-
"I'm afraid to know, and for now, I don't want to."
Julian responds with, that honestly low on the priority list, but thanks for bringing it up.
I didn't want to forget it later, so
I'm glad somebody wrote it down.
yeah. Jack will tell you about Kip when you're older. That aside, Ye's going to lay up more supplies, crossbow bolts, actual wooden crossbow bolts. Just to be clear, he's not buying any of those crappy carbon fiber ones or whatever, because that's not going to
No,
do more than mildly annoy a vampire shot with them. I mean, it could be
absolutely not.
funny, but let's see, they've still got plenty of holy water. Does that stuff does the holiness denature or anything? Or is it
I don't know. No.
It deconsecrates in the presence of metal.
yeah.
Jack, do you tell anybody about what you discovered on the hill?
Yeah, about that. Jack shows up at the library like about 11:15. He's wearing his good shirt, and he's combed. He looks for every bit like an actual assistant associate youth pastor. Comes up to Julian, and he's got a bag full of brochures, and he says, "I had to bring these with me to make it look legitimate, but I'm the new campus outreach representative for our church."
Okay.
Well played. Well played.
So just so the church doesn't know, I went ripping around last night up on that hill, and I found something.
Okay, you know what? Sure. What did you find?
Not like manhole covers, but access hatches. About size of a person, covered with dirt. Doesn't look like they've been opened. Did they look like they've been opened recently?
No, they looked real rusty.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they've been
real
opened.
Rusty dusty.
But that could be our way in without having to navigate any sewers, because personally, no.
Yeah.
Valid.
Interesting. We should maybe try and investigate where that goes. How close it gets to the property, if it does.
It's right on the hill.
So
Going there during the day means they can't follow us and be on the edges, but that also means people can see us, and while they're crazy, I can't imagine they're stupid. It would be easy to pay or hire somebody just to keep an eye on the hill if you're planning to do a big ritual there.
do you think, and this I understand this isn't like a great leap of logic for mankind or anything, but Could that bunker that Danny mentioned be under the hill?
The hatches seem to lend that possibility. I think so, yeah.
That seems like a really, like, once again, I know they're like supposed to be super smart in their areas or something, but that seems like a really stupid idea to store all your failed experiments on top of a hellmouth.
Maybe that's
They
where they think they'll.
No, it's a hellmouth.
I would
We have-
assume they do. They didn't Danny say they were talking about tapping the hellmouth?
Yeah, doesn't mean they know where the hellmouth is. They just know there's a hellmouth.
Cleveland's a big city, and I mean, from all the reports I've been cleared to read, the last hellmouth we've seen, they didn't know where it was until it was practically right on top of them. So
Wait, the Mennonite Shadow Council has reports on hellmouth?
an entire city disappears and doesn't make the news. Just about everybody started opening a file.
That's fair.
Yep. Yep.
Still, I'm sorry. It's still kind of painful to try and parse mentally that the Mennonite Shadow Council has files on anything except possibly, which counties aren't dry counties around them.
There is a substantial record of borscht.
That I also believe.
Hmm.
All right, so we may know where the hellmouth is, and they don't. And by going to investigate it, if they're watching any of us, it's entirely possible that we could lead them directly to the hellmouth. I love having to make decisions like this. Let me tell you.
You
It's
know,
not ideal.
all I have is at least it's not on top of or underneath the school. Last time it was underneath the school, it ended badly.
Entire city disappears, doesn't make the news.
Yep.
Watchers Council had a lot of cleaning up to do. That was before my time, but we all know the story.
Yep.
It's part of like Watcher 402.
So, are you going to check it out?
I think I would
I-
vote yes if we can get a hold of Ash.
Having a Slayer would help.
Why don't we do everything we can to prepare?
Do that. I want part of me wants to say, hey, why don't we ask Eugenie to go check it out? But I know how this works. I've watched enough TV to know if we do that, despite being the badass Elder Slayer, something is going to happen to Eugenie. It will have been our fault, and it will explode in our faces.
And
He
Ash
could
will
be back,
never let us hear the end of it.
I mean, we don't live in a television show, but if you're speaking from your experience with the powers that be, I'm more inclined to believe that, yes.
Well, all right. We can go that route too, but I'm telling you, television mirrors real life. There's a reason that tropes are tropes, and there's a reason that, trite saying there's always a kernel of truth and things like that.
And then they take those kernels and blow them up. So
Yeah, exactly. And we
And
don't
then
want
you have
anything blowing
popcorn.
pinch
up.
of salt,
Some butter.
frying pan.
Yeah.
Let's think of the kernels of truth. They blow up, and then you have popcorn.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we need
That's
some
how you make a
sort
TV
of.
show.
I think we need some sort of reconnaissance on this area to have like a good understanding. That's the only real way forward. I don't know how we're going to prepare for that reconnaissance. Maybe night vision goggles, some outfit that makes you quieter? What
I
could we do?
I have a drone that wasn't too expensive. We can strap a GoPro to it.
How loud is it?
About as loud as any drone. It's not like, a helicopter loud, just kind of a. But if we do that during the daytime,
There's
just some
no. Yeah, it's just some
sophomore
kids.
with a drone.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
just the
see
opening
not.
up the cage might lead to
well, yeah, but I
something
think
bad.
we should take a look before we open the cage. Not at night, but if we go out during the day, make it look like we're filming some sort of student film BS. Show up in some costumes, fly the GoPro drone around, get some framing in
B-roll.
background and B-roll and all that with the drone. Have a camera too or an iPad. I mean, you can make anything.
The student film group seems to have quite a lot of that lying around.
They do. They the media center is not far from here.
And we broke into the props and costumes area for the theater once. We can probably do it again if we really needed to.
Why don't we just ask them nicely this time? I don't think we need to break in.
We don't need to.
He wants to.
My God, you're turning into little delinquents.
Turning into.
It is crime. But yeah, okay, we can ask them for some costumes, and like we don't even need one of their cameras. We can, if anybody asks for making found footage. Found footage can be terrible quality and done on anything. I've watched a lot of it while I was high.
YouTube
right.
rabbit holes. I get it.
Yep. So we get some costumes. We do
Fair
the
enough.
drone thing during the day just to get the lay of the land.
Julian is actually going to like pull them. He's going to take the map that's on the wall and kind of push it aside a little bit. There's actually been a whiteboard behind that.
With some knife marks in it at this
With
point.
some knife marks in it. Yeah, so on the side that isn't totally defiled, there he starts writing, drone, found footage, student film, like bullet points to just kind of like summarize what's going to happen. And essentially is just sort of solidifying this plan with you guys as you go through.
All right.
So who's going to get the cameras? Who's going to get the costumes?
I'll go get the cameras, I suppose.
Okay.
I've got the drone and GoPro already, but I can Jack doesn't actually go here, so I don't know that he's gonna get away with asking them for
Yeah, no, they kind of
costumes.
just threw me over into the least populated department, which, sorry, Julian. All the good.
How
and
do you
just
think a
see-
watcher gets away with it?
Yeah, it makes sense. That's why you're all librarians.
I resent that, but yeah.
Where else are you going to hide all the stuff? In the reference section where nobody goes. Oh,
Hi, Mana.
oh, there we go. Still working on
right.
it.
All right, I'll go.
You'll go.
Fine, I'll go flirt with someone in the media
Yeah,
center.
fine.
And
Yeah,
you
so
will
you-
go possibly unknowingly flirt with somebody in the costume department.
Okay, so Cheryl, make me a willpower influence roll to see how much of the like high quality stuff you get.
Willpower influence attractive roll. All
Yes.
right, that is a 17.
You get like the good stuff. They give you one of the fancy like perched on the shoulder cameras. They give you a whole like sound suite of equipment, and they give you actually a password to an editing suite for the media center.
Ooh. Yeah, I imagine when she steps in, she goes, excuse me, fellas. And there's just like 3 or 4 guys that like trip over.
Oh, for
One of
sure.
them
Trip
in the
over
back
each other and
faints.
like equipment. Go,
One of
"Yeah."
them is Esteban from printing.
Esteban gets around.
Esteban contains multitudes.
Oh yeah. He's not just a single media guy.
Yeah,
The
I make sure
multimedia.
that that we go over proper protocol, make sure all the batteries are charged.
Absolutely.
Get invited to a
They
Mario Kart tournament that I intend on going to and whipping their asses at.
Oh yeah, they set up all that. They make sure you have extra batteries, and they slip some of, unbeknownst to each other, they slip their phone numbers into the camera bags, like individually.
Each pocket has a different phone number in it.
Yeah, except Esteban, because Esteban knows that you already have this number.
Mhm.
But he's
I'll
also kind
just
of like, he kind of gives you a look like, why haven't you called me?
I'll give him a Snapchat of the 3 of his friends' numbers and go, some guys are just so needy. Like
He immediately snaps back with like, I know, right?
like get the hint. And then I'm just gonna make fun of his friends to him to make him feel like he's better than his friends. Because that always is a sign of things going well.
Okay.
Nice.
Now we're gonna go to Ye, and Ye's gonna get the costumes.
Yep. He's gonna just wander in and be like, "Hey, we're doing a little student film, trying to do found footage because it's the cheapest, and we're gonna call it Horror of Hell Hill." Um,
A Horror of Hell Hill, and this is Jake you're talking to. If you remember Jake, he's the
he's the one who
scene
didn't
shop
summon.
head. He's the one who did not summon Kip.
Okay.
The one's still in
Donovan,
his good books.
hold on a sec. Donovan saw you and yeeted himself out.
It's for the best. Ye still harbors some pent up resentment at the source of the Kip.
That's
The
Ye's
kippening.
default state is pent up resentment. Let's be fair.
It didn't used to be.
Sure. It
Oh
was
my
just still
God.
building. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Pip triggered something deep down in Ye.
Yeah.
Ye's demon side has been chill for 25 years.
And then
Nah,
there's-
Ye had pre-existing resentment from being the Oracle. We all know that.
Yeah, he really did. Kip kind of just became the focus of
just
everything
like-
that's wrong and bad in the world.
Scapegoat.
Cliff, Ye, Kip.
Exactly. But, once again, he has not yet made sweet love to Kip's chest with the business end of a broadsword. So Kip is, still ahead of the game. That
Okay.
aside, he's gonna be like, I need some sort of big monster costume. I'm gonna be the monster. It's kind of gonna be like a rabid bear, Bigfoot sort of thing. If you have that available,
Okay, yeah, we have some faux furs and horn. Well, Bigfoot doesn't have horns, but like our some of it is in props, some of it would be in costumes. I'll let you look through, and he basically lets you grab what you need under his watch.
of course, and he'll even just kind of sign, make sure to sign for everything and whatnot. He's
Check
actually
it
going to
out
try
and
and
all
take
that
care of it.
jazz.
Yeah, because I only really need it for like a day, maybe a night. Of course, this almost guarantees that night they're going to be attacked by something that's going to fuck up all the costumes. But we'll deal with that when it happens.
It will
because
now.
It's going to happen. Yeah, he's going to get the sort of Bigfoot set up. He's going to get some priestess robes of some sort. Just easy stuff to throw on. Maybe
Some dark monk robes or something.
no, we're gonna get a pilgrim outfit for Jack. He's gonna kind of guesstimate the sizes and such, but
It's gonna be like a haunting of a Quaker village or something.
yeah, it's gonna be very meta. You see, so he'll get all that together and then carefully package it up and carry it off, and maybe if his hookup is into that, slip him a little, slip him a nug for some edibles.
They politely pass.
Okay. And then otherwise he'll wander off and head back to the group.
And when you get back to the group, Ash is there, I presume.
Somebody fill me in on what's been happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So we're gonna start from the top.
It's like real quick.
So for the intros, we all made up fun facts about another person's character. And so I'll give you some time, but you get to make up a fun fact about Ye.
Oh, okay.
And Eddie, would you like to share the fun fact that you made up about Ash?
Yeah, the fun fact that Eddie, fictional character Eddie, made up about Ash Lexington is that they have an off again, on again kind of crush, kind of like not sure if anything's like going there with the juice boy at Booster Juice. That's why they're coming back with smoothies all the time. Malcolm.
All right.
And like maybe it's like the normalcy of like the juice boy is like maybe the reason for attraction, or maybe the fantasy is that it's just like his life is so simple, he just juices things, and you're like, wow, and he seems nice, and he doesn't make any appropriate comments to anybody. I've seen him like not get along with people, and you're like, he seems like a plain,
normal,
happy,
safe,
normal boy.
And he gives you extra powder.
And he's just kind, and he doesn't expect anything, and you're like, wow, I feel safe when I'm in front of Malcolm, and he's asking me for my order.
Okay.
Now, does anybody else? This is important. Does anybody else know about this on again, sort of off again pseudo crush, or is this something? Okay, because Ye would have a talk with Ash about trying to keep normal people in your life.
No, yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
That's why.
I'll keep you my dirty little secret.
Yeah, it's a dirty little secret of being like, wow, if I didn't lead a crazy life, maybe I would.
Yeah, so like there's like a brighter smile sometimes where Ash like might come back with a smoothie, like with like a, or like it's like, hey Malcolm, how's it going today? Like, yeah, I love it. I love it.
And the smoothie place is on the other side of the campus, which is why Ash
so out of the way.
Laced.
Out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and just so you're also in the loop, Bat Kyle made up about Jack, not a cop, Aldridge, that he has a tattoo that not even his handler knows about. The only other person who knows is a drunk tattoo artist he met in New Orleans when he was also, 5 sheets to the wind.
Mine seems tame in comparison. The one I did for Cheryl was she has a themed outfit for every day of the week based on the classes she has that day.
Absolutely. I can see it. I can absolutely see it. See it.
So
with matching notebooks and everything.
She doesn't have a nice apartment, but she has one of those. She's one of those closets that's from Clueless that just like cycles through everything.
Oh no, I already have one. It's
you have one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm so
what you got? What you got?
So Ye actually has this like secret like deep skincare routine that like he actually like is very proud of like his skin. That's why his like skin is always so great, is because he just like every night just makes sure that he like moisturizes, washes, toner, serums, like the beard, like good beard care too, obviously.
Tea tree oil.
Hard.
In the
Yeah,
beard.
yeah.
Different
Yeah.
products for his demon side.
Yes, absolutely. Because like you need
Exactly.
different toner for like
Yeah,
different
sharpener.
skin, of course.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sharpener.
absolutely. Like
Yeah.
a sharpener. So like there's like
Pencil
well, Ye
sharpener.
kind of has this like laid back, relaxed, total type of vibe. Every single night, Ye's like, I can't sleep over. I gotta go get my toner. Like, and like I gotta make sure I have like my skincare routine, and like that's why the beard is always so well shaped and the horns are so sharp, is because like
Has it become a
actually-
little compulsive at this point?
Little
I-
bit.
I
It's
mean, I would say
something
so.
he can control.
Yes.
Is the thing,
Yes.
and once every few weeks or so, if it's been particularly rough, he'll go get a peel.
Yeah.
He'll he's got a whole like dermatologist and such. He's
Yeah, it's one of those like hyper like fixation things where like one time it was like probably like really high and like watched this like Korean beauty video and like just like went off the rails and was like, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and like it became this like hyper fixation thing.
And
Look.
it's lasted.
Ye doesn't
Yes.
date anyone because he's oblivious to attraction, but he does like to feel pretty.
Right. And he, like I think he likes to feel good. That's why he smokes. So like it makes him feel good, and it like maybe helps ward off like maybe I won't have a nightmare if I just relax and zen and do my skincare and do the things.
At least
Cool.
one of those is a CBD cream, just because.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
2000%.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, to catch you up on the rest.
Yes,
the,
plot wise, what's happening?
The rest of the Scoobs have been coming up with a plan. They have decided to pretend to check out the hill of the hauntingness.
Okay, yeah. With the
Um,
hauntiness, yes.
By pretending to be like student filmmakers,
I love it.
making a horror film, and Ye is going to hook a GoPro up to to his drone and fly that around and pretend to be getting like B-roll. And Cheryl flirted with the AV club at the media center and got the hook up with like all of the like high-end gear and several phone numbers.
Okay.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie. When
Cheryl
you started
also
to say,
convinced Danny to put his hand in a tanning bed to see if that like caused him to catch fire.
did it?
Yeah, it did not.
No.
Oh man.
We can't recreate sunlight, unfortunately.
Man.
That's what we
Darn
learned.
it. I'm not gonna lie, when you said Ye hooked up a camera to, I don't know why my first thought was a pig, but I'm just like
Go
have it,
pig.
like let it loose and like run into the mansion and like get the inside scoop. That's what like my brain went.
I feel
Just
like that's like a prank Ye would
Right,
pull
but, like-
before meeting the rest of the Scoobies.
right, but like just attach a camera to it, get an inside look. It's fine.
He would have done it to a fraternity that stiffed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bought
Yeah.
some loud packs and didn't want to pay. And he's not a violent person to normal people if he doesn't have to be, but he will feed
He
a
is
pig.
petty.
He is petty. He's
Yeah.
very petty at times, and he will feed a pig $40 worth of Del Taco and then set it loose in a frat house.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so where the group is coming back and meets Ash, where is back?
I believe home base was Julian's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Ash is there with said smoothie in hand.
Yep.
perched,
Yep.
perched on a desk.
So we
Alright.
got the camera equipment. We got the outfits. What outfits did you pick for us? Yay.
He's like, I wanted stuff that was generally pretty easy to get into for most of us. He pulls up they're not like the gauzy, definitely without some tape kind of show some things, sort of priestess robes, but just like white, sort of druidy-ish, old pagan style
More
robes.
monk-esque.
Yep. And then he busts out the special outfit for Jack,
A pilgrim outfit.
the pilgrim outfit, and complete with the hat with buckle, the whole thing.
Yeah. Jack takes it, looks at Ye, and says, "You're a fucking prick" in Old English. Because he knows Old English.
He's like, I don't know what you said, but it didn't come out in a flattering tone, and you know what? You're probably right. Unless it was about my mother, then you've got to go through a wall.
Jack looks at Ye like he grew a third head. It's like, I would never say bad things about somebody's mother. Are you kidding me? The Mennonite Central Committee is half old ladies who spend all their time reading, runic incantations and knitting blankets. I would be dead before I got out of the building.
They would find out.
The
That's fair. That's
babushkas
fair.
always find out.
I
Well,
apologize for that.
We could make sure that we show up kind of early-ish in the morning, I suppose. Then the only thing we have to worry about vampire related should be in the tunnel.
Yep.
Good idea. Do we want to get Eugenie or Danny involved?
We should probably let them know. Yeah.
Are
we
Julian
certain that? Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Are we certain that Danny really won't squeal? I mean, I know he hates them, but
like, he knows enough at this point that if he wanted to squeal, he could have told them who we are, and at least one of us would probably already have had a visit at home or on the way home from them or their minions. I really don't.
Jack's like, I spend an hour and a half ripping around on a dirt bike on that hill. If Danny was gonna squeal, I would have been dead already.
Okay.
Yep.
He's got a grudge, and I understand that kind of hate.
Ash just goes, same.
Yeah, Julian says, I will message Eugenie and see if she can meet us there.
All right.
Do we, Ye's gonna actually check and see, do we need like filming permits for this on that hill? It's a public land. He wants to do this right.
Let's see. It is public land. It's kind of just an abandoned lot, though.
Okay.
It's owned by the city because no one wanted it.
That's fair. The only
And
other
there's
thing
like,
is...
if Yay, are you a local? You're...
pretty local. Like,
Ash
his
is local
parents
too.
are outside of town.
Yeah,
but-
Yay and Ash, you would remember that at one point when you were younger, like maybe between 8 and 10, they tried to make it like a park and put like a nice sign up and stuff, and that sign was decrepit and dirty and partially burnt within like a month.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun there. Ye's also going to pick up a tent, like a kind of like one of the tents you set up to be a changing area sort of thing, not like so we can put it up over the hatch. Or like a little
Gotcha.
break
That
tent or
is the
something.
most brilliant idea I've ever heard of.
We could. Ash is like thinking out and then just goes, never mind. I was just thinking we could get like somebody or one of us to, we could do like a food, like a craft table, like make it more official and be like
Crafty.
Yeah, like do it crafty.
We don't want to go
Julian's
too
just
all
like-
out onto this. We're trying to make it look as low budget as possible. These are we're broke ass students.
Yeah, non-union.
So
Can't
afford it.
cosmic
I just-
brownies and Twinkies.
I meant leaving somebody more to make sure nobody follows us into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Someone manning a table.
Yes.
I mean, I'm less fight inclined than you guys are, but I certainly know how to watch, if you catch my drift.
Weird thing to say if you catch my drift about it.
But yes, no, that would be good. So we can have Eugenie be the I don't know, the costume makeup.
Why
something.
don't Eugenie and I stay above in case, God forbid, anything goes wrong?
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think she'll be okay with staying behind? I'll leave you to talk her into that.
Yeah,
she'll
I'll
be our
discuss
rear.
that with
That'll help
her.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I should bring the knife
You
if we're going into the tunnel,
should-
just in case.
We'll have the knife with us, but I'm not going to give anyone the knife right now. I don't trust you guys with the knife. I'm not going to lie about that.
Why don't you
If
trust us?
Why?
We're
with the
going on a
knife?
scouting mission.
Because
We
that
don't-
knife does weird things to you guys.
Hmm.
Jack's like, and we need a level head. We're not going in there for an assault just yet. So we should leave our ace in the hole, as it were.
I don't really
That's
even want
why
to
I
bring
would
the knife with
suggest
us.
that I would have it in a wrapped piece of cloth or something, not
But
have
we're
it
still
in
bringing it
contact.
with us. It's
We'll keep it
bringing
with us as a
is
last
bad
resort. Cheryl, can't you throw fire from your hands now?
She can what now?
That happened in another scene.
Oh,
I've been messing with some pyrotechnics, but I'm still limited in the physical capabilities department compared to, and just gestures towards the room, keeping Julian out of it.
compared to everyone over here.
This
There's like an
quadrant.
arm and just compared to
Julian doesn't like protest that. He knows his capabilities.
Yeah.
He's the brains, not the brawn.
So that, yeah, sure. We don't need to bring it, but it being with someone trustworthy, which, going out on a limb here saying that people in this room are trustworthy, then that would be possible. So if you want to bring it with yourself, Julian, and keep it on your person, then that's okay.
I would feel more comfortable keeping it on my person. I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust you. It's I don't trust the knife. I would rather be responsible for my own actions than be responsible for the actions of one of you.
That's
who
fair.
I am technically responsible for according to certain higher powers.
Wait, is it affecting you? And she's gonna look at him more closely.
The knife? Not when I'm
Yes.
not like. No, if you're not holding the knife, it doesn't do anything.
How
But
often
I've
do you
seen-
think about it, Julian?
How often do you think about it, Cheryl?
I asked for
answering a
this.
question with a question.
You've been real adamant about this knife.
I really didn't like touching that knife. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the idea of anybody actually touching that knife unless it's absolutely 100% life or death.
That's fair. I've been in a couple situations where I've almost had my head torn off. So I suppose that
You
having
really
that
want to
in my
feel what the knife
repertoire.
does? You really want to hold that knife? You want to play that game?
I don't really consider my life a game. But yes, I'd like to hold the knife if we want to do it in a controlled environment and not in a hole on our way to a vampire bunker. Sure. We want to experiment with it today before we go off tomorrow. Sure.
Julian will just gesture and point to the training room. Everyone, training room. And he will go to his desk, unlock the drawer, unlock another compartment, take out a locked box, and grab the key to that and bring it with him into the training room.
Friggin' Fallout belt in that desk.
You notice that there was one extra lock than there was before, and you imagine that he probably had a new compartment put in that drawer.
Okay.
Did somebody
So-
pick up Rathu, by the way? Or is Rathu still in a cage?
Oh, Rathu was actually scheduled to be picked up on Friday.
Why is it taking so long to pick up a rat? It's not even like you need to hide a person.
I don't run the bureaucracy. I don't pretend to understand all of the ins and outs of their weird hierarchy. All I know is that they're sending a representative on Friday. There's probably some customs bullshit.
I am super uncomfortable having a magically powerful rat. I don't trust him not to have some way out of that rat form. And having the whole knife in the same area as a dude with a bunch of magic, even if he's a rat right now, really gives me a Wiggins. Like, this is not from the powers that be or anything. It just pings on my this is gonna go badly dar.
You know,
Everything pings on my it's gonna go badly dar right now. Fuck it, come on, let's go play with the knife. And he's just like,
if it makes you feel better, I will carry the knife with me personally without touching it.
he goes into the training room.
Okay. So I almost called him Yay. Julian follows everyone into the training room with the box.
That good old Julian.
He
Julian and Jay.
Wait,
sets
Jay's not in this.
He sets the box down on the weapons table, takes the key from an inside pocket of his blazer, and unlocks it. And it is wrapped in like 6 layers of course, velvet, because the Watchers are extra. And they he takes it he puts on like one of those like cotton gloves that you like do like
the library
slides
ancient
with,
book.
like the library ancient book. Yeah.
My Canadian ass. You mean the gloves like they used to hold the Stanley Cup?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
2000%. Listen, my Bostonian ass is right there with you. Yes, 2000%.
Oh yeah, you guys have actually won it.
Yeah,
I should, as a sort of Detroiter, I should be like, yeah, totally, but like Wings haven't won the Stanley Cup in like a decade.
Sad face and Canucks fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he puts on those like archival gloves and picks up the knife, holding it like so that the blade is pointed towards no one in particular. And he says, or he stands just off of middle from the center from the room, farther away from you guys, and then he says, all right, Cheryl, want to try the knife?
I'll use telekinesis to float it in front of me and put it like kind of in my hands, like I'm not necessarily touching my hands, but I'd like to just look at it for a few moments before I make physical contact with it. I want to use the sight.
Yeah, make a perception occultism. That's a thing. Yeah.
Oh, that is 15.
Oh,
Can I add sorcery to that? Or no?
No, because it's not a spell.
Yeah.
You said 15?
Yeah, 15 total.
You get bad vibes from this thing. Like flashing red neon sign of bad things.
You might have to be more specific. I'm sorry. What?
Maybe Cheryl can remember how Ash was acting when they were holding the knife during this.
That was one aspect of the knife.
True,
and now it's been combined with all parts of it. So, what do you mean by bat? Powerful? Or it's like, what do you mean
powerful? What's the word I'm looking for?
Malevolent?
No.
Omnipotent.
Imbued with purpose.
With
yeah.
great and terrible purpose.
I know. I Cheryl hears the voices of thousands of people chanting her name as they go on to lead.
A cult? Yeah.
What's the word for it? No.
The free world.
A great religious conquest.
A cult.
Oh,
Crusade.
crusade.
Yeah, they use crusade in the new
Crusade.
movies. And she's gonna have it land gently in her palms, still holding it, but like ceremonially.
He's gonna wander over and pick up an Eskrima stick from the weapon cage.
Okay.
Jack grabs a nightstick. Confa, I guess.
Yep. And he's just gonna go,
1,
all right,
2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Wait, I
we'll
would
wait
need
to
it-
see whatever this is. I'm sure it's harmless and not at all about to be terrifying and bloody.
I need. What is my easiest access default? Here we go. Cheryl, the first person in front of you is Julian.
Okay.
But you know that Julian is a good guy. His intentions are genuine. He does everything he can to bring justice to the evil in this world. So he's fine in your
Okay.
eyes.
Okay. Interesting.
What do you do?
The first person that like appears, and like, what do you mean by appears? Like he's just like close to me and looking at me?
Yeah, he's directly in your line of sight.
She probably like has it in one hand and like Mole goes from ceremonial, has it in one hand, kind of flips it a little bit.
You see the smooth surfaces of the 3 gems, red, yellow, or red, green, blue. You see the ornate kind of decorative handle, and the curved hilt, and this wavy, sharp steel blade that kind of glints in the fluorescent lights.
All right. She looks over. She kind of like looks at Julian a little bit, waiting for something bad to happen, and then looks over at, I guess, Ye, that is has an Eskrima stick out.
He's like, all right, does it impart you with abilities? Like, do you know how to use a knife? Because I don't think you knew how to use one before.
Cheryl,
Good
when you
question.
look at Ye, you know what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Demons are only bad. It is your job to kill demons. I'm going to have to make you make an attack roll.
No save?
No save.
You accepted the blade willingly.
Okay, sounds good. What do I roll?
You are going to roll. Let's see. Oh, I forgot my little cheat sheet. You have a knife.
Doing medieval.
So you're gonna melee attack is dexterity plus getting medieval.
Okay. And my dex is the same dex as it was before.
Oh right. Your dex is gonna go up by 2.
Okay. Sounds good.
Actually,
I'm
your
just gonna write
dex,
that down.
your dex, your strength, and your perception are going up by 2.
Dex, strength, and perception go up by 2 with knife. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's the only mechanical advantage?
Yes.
Okay. And internally, 0 conflict. 0 conflict.
You are convinced. It is
Okay.
your conviction that you must destroy evil, and demons are inherently evil.
Okay.
It is your duty.
Do I have the capacity to speak?
Yes.
She's probably gonna look at Julian and stare at him and go, "This knife doesn't really do that much. Sure, I feel a little bit faster, but I'm looking at you and I'm not overcome with any feelings of rage. And then looks over at the Eskrima stick and yay and goes, but I think I see you for what you really are. You big fucking oaf. Pretending to be our friends when deep inside you there is a demon. And you're gonna wait until you can get past all of us. You're gonna wait until you're the one option for to be our savior, and then you're gonna stomp on our fucking necks, and she's gonna swing towards him.
Okay, that is
6 total.
what did I say? Okay. So if you want to make a resisted roll, which is going to be a dodge.
Actually, I'm gonna go for a parry.
Okay, go for
which
a
is
parry.
dexterity and kung fu, or dexterity and getting medieval.
Yeah, I'll let you do whichever's higher.
Okay. Wait, what did Cheryl get?
Cheryl got a
6.
6.
Okay, so not actually any successes.
No.
All right. Well, this is much less terrifying than I thought it was a moment ago.
She gets there faster than you expected, but it's
Yeah,
not that
12.
hard.
Yeah, you easily bat the knife, Cheryl's hand with a knife in it, away, and you, as a parry, make an opening to strike Cheryl back should you want to.
Not strike back, but Ye definitely is not at all kosher with the sudden heel turn for Cheryl, so instead he's going to go for a grapple.
Okay.
For the arm with the knife.
Grapple, yeah, you make a grapple, and Cheryl make a dodge.
Okay. And that's also Dex.
Dodge is Dex plus either acrobatics, getting medieval, or kung fu, whichever's higher for you.
Okay. Dodge is a 9 total.
Okay, and mine is Dex plus Kung Fu plus 2 for grapple. So 18.
Yeah.
You get Cheryl in. What hold do you want Cheryl in? Basically,
we're pretty much going for an arm bar on this one. Ye is going to kind of grab the wrist, brace his forearm against the back of her elbow, and try and take her down enough to just hold her there and be like, Ash, get the knife. Ash.
Do I have the capacity to act again?
Make me a strength doubled check.
Okay. Ash is
To
also going to
do
Ash
what?
also
simultaneously this is happening.
Yeah.
Like to quick
So
cast a spell.
Ash, oh, you'd like to quick cast a spell?
Yes, I'm not looking to get physically out of it. I'm looking
Okay.
to
In
kill the
that
demon
case-
that's grappling me.
Right. In that case, Ash, make me a strength double to grab the knife from her. And Cheryl, you still have free speech and movement of your other hand. So just make me a casting roll.
Okay. I'm gonna do air become fist to try and knock the demon away.
Thing already? We haven't even had a date yet. Jesus.
That is sorcery plus willpower plus occultism.
I have 18 for Ash.
18 for the spell check.
Okay. What's the
Oh,
power
yeah,
level on
18.
air become fist?
6.
6. Okay, so
Zero.
you try to cast air
If you
become
find sports
fist,
betting intimidating,
but one of your fists is being physically wrenched in one direction while someone else is wrenching an object from it, as Ash rips this knife from your hand, and your focus goes from Ye to basically your your now empty hand, and the spell goes in the direction of that hand, which your focus has moved to. So
Okay.
the spell gets launched into the floor and puts a huge dent in the floor. There's an audible boom crack as the wooden floor underneath
Like
these
bows.
mats like bows inward, like a fucking crater.
And Ye's just looking down at it for a moment. I hate this knife. I hate it so much.
Did Ash grab the knife out of my hand?
Yeah, oh yeah, Ash grabbed the
Yes.
knife. I was just waiting. But yes, Ash took the knife. Yes. Ash is holding the knife now.
Julian is going to.
Ash,
Julian
give the knife.
looks
Give the knife
mortified.
to give the knife to Julian, please, right now. I do not want to have to repeat this.
Ash, make me, having seen what it just did to Cheryl,
I can prepare myself a little bit. Maybe.
Make me a willpower doubled roll.
Willpower doubled. Okay. Eight. Yeah, 18. I had to do the math again. I was like, wait, is that the same number? But just rolled differently, different modifiers. Yes, it's 18.
That is. Let's see. Yeah, that's just enough. You are able to take this knife. You know, it affects you less because you're already the Slayer.
Right.
You already have the drive to destroy evil. You already have the powers that it is meant to imbue. So you don't feel obligated to use this knife.
Okay. So Ash is like holding the knife and he's like, give it to Julian, give it to Julian, give it to Julian.
Julian's going to walk up to you with the cloth and like take it, like I'm gonna take it now. And he just like and then takes the knife back from you.
So before that happens though, Ash just kind of like looks at it and like there's like this sense of clarity. And like Ash looks at the knife and looks at Yay and looks at the knife and looks at Yay, looks at Cheryl and goes, you don't get to touch this again.
You do though, you do get a sense of like obligation, as in you should be slaying. You shouldn't be
right. So Ash has
wasting time doing this.
Right, yeah. Ash has the obligation major anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's general evil and there's bad evil, and Yay is neither. Like they can like discern, right? Like so just goes, yeah, no, nobody touches this, and like hands it to Julian as Julian's like
he'll take it.
Yeah. Just goes. And like after like Ash was like, you don't get touched again, and then like just stop and be like, Cheryl, like checking in on Cheryl, like
Ye's gonna let go of the
and
armbar
Julian
the
is
moment the knife's out of her hand.
Yeah, Julian is frantic, is like hurriedly putting this knife, like wrapping it back in those like 6 layers of cloth and putting it in this box, locking.
I guess that's a
box.
question. Has my agency changed?
Yes.
Between okay, so the second it leaves my hands,
the second it leaves your hands. Wait a second.
I'll make a magic.
Hold on. I'm trying to remember how I did this last time.
Yeah, no, when Ash stopped touching it last time, it was immediate. Just if that helps.
Yeah, this weapon is ported from an RP that I did with a friend, and I think. Okay, cool. I remember what I did. Nope, you're good. You're good, Cheryl.
Okay, I'm good. So immediately, she rolls willpower doubled save because she casts a spell that is higher than her willpower.
Correct.
And she rolls
subtract 3 from that.
Total of 17. With the subtraction.
Is that with the subtraction? Okay,
So I beat it.
You did beat it. Yeah.
For some reason, I don't have my cheat sheet success levels. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, I did not make the success levels. Okay. Yeah, if she's back to herself, is she conscious of what she just did?
Yes.
hair in front of her face and some difficulty speaking.
He's just gonna pat her on the back and be like, "It's okay. I know that was the knife."
I never have thought anything like that before.
How do you feel?
And she's a little like focused about what she said to Ye and goes, genuinely, I've never in the back of my mind ever had any of those thoughts.
Yep. I know. Cheryl, I trust you with my life. Still, 100%.
That thing is a sad excuse at power.
Imitations often are.
No, it's not. That doesn't give you the power of being a slayer. That makes you some sort of juiced up monkey. I'm not.
Yeah, everybody, if you what role would that be? Just okay, make me an intelligence knowledge roll, just a real casual one.
All of
Everybody?
us or just Cheryl?
Everybody, including Julian. So Julian will make one.
Intelligence
6.
knowledge, you said?
7. I got nothing.
I think I
He's
got-
still focusing on not having been punched by that floor destroying
Yes.
spell.
I
Yeah,
got
it
a
would have.
9.
If it worked, it would have done 60 points of damage.
Jesus.
Oh,
That would not have
That's the
killed Ye?
minimum damage it does.
Minimum damage it does.
Minimum.
Yeah.
If it works.
But Ye would have been limping for roll, casting call tomorrow or whatever.
That would have been flat out killed Jack. Ooh.
I think Ye and Ash are the only two who could withstand that.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
let's
else are going to
see.
become chili con carne. That's
So who got above who got any number of successes?
I got a 9. I got 1 level of success.
One level of success.
Yeah.
Okay. Ash, you vaguely remember seeing that book that Danny brought in,
Okay.
where there was something about 3 knives and they combine and they each give you powers and stuff. But Julian thinks back and he says, there was nothing in the book about the knife being malicious or hell-bent on destroying evil. All it said was that it was supposed to synthesize the powers of a slayer.
So even when I just touched it, there's something different about how I feel normally and how that felt. That just made me really want to go kill some vampires, like way more. Like I'd probably be like a star A student with that thing. So there's definitely something different about it.
well, it could have changed over time. It could have been corrupted, or whoever made it with that intention and didn't feel like it bore mentioning. Whatever it is, I hate it.
Jack bites his lip for a second and he looks to Julian and says, okay, now this isn't a knock, but how did the Watchers used to think about this business? My understanding is they weren't always so friendly. This might have been as intended.
Are you suggesting that this was planned?
You give the knife to a man willing to die and send him into a nest. You have a bomb in human form. I mean, I've heard stories about knights, slaying vampires and stuff and being burdened with conviction. They called them zealots. So maybe this is something like that.
Julian seems a little freaked out by that thought and walks quickly over to a shelf of books, grabs a couple, and just starts leafing through them frantically, and he doesn't say anything.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't have your own zealotry, store-bought is fine.
Take a drama point for that line.
So strange. I didn't even feel as though there was any chance.
Also,
what did you feel? I mean, we all saw the result, but
it's honestly like I looked at the world in black and white. It was simple.
a warrior's mindset.
Yeah. Was there ever any thought that you weren't going to be able to stab me, or it was just like, I'm going to smite this evil before me?
It's the only thing I should do. Didn't think about any other thought in my mind besides ensuring that that you weren't around to hurt us or to hurt others. I forgot honestly about any of the good things you've ever said to me. It felt like not a lot of bad memories of you, yay. So I don't know how it made me think that you were some sort of snake in our midst.
Well, I mean, it's something the Watchers could just kind of send out into the world. Anybody whose hands it ends up in, I guess, would be, unless they're beings of prepared for it and beings of exceptional willpower. And let's face it, Cheryl, you are already a being of exceptional willpower. And it still got right to you. So, I mean, you put this out in the world, and even if it's not in the hand of one of your agents, somebody's going to end up with it and start killing demons and vampires until they're taken down.
You hear like a tick 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 tick, like of a message being
text?
sent
Yeah.
from Julian's corner. He takes a big breath and then lets it out slowly. Kind of maybe aggressively closes his book a little more aggressively than he would have liked. He goes and puts it back on the shelf, and he says, Danny will be here shortly with that book of his, and we're gonna figure this the fuck out.
Sounds good. Honestly, though, I think we should still take the knife. As a last resort. As I hate to say it, if it comes down to a choice between Cheryl possibly stabbing me and letting a hellmouth be tapped or opened in the middle of this city.
But we don't even know what that knife will do if it stabs you. I don't know if I am willing to risk that. Like,
Did I
that's
get
not
a
a normal
sense of
knife.
the sense of the stats?
Yeah, can Ash also, like, since they both touched it, or either Cheryl or
Jack watched watched Rathu stab the vampire with it, and it dusted him.
It essentially acts as the killing implement of whatever beast or creature or demon it is up against.
It is a slayer.
so it can stake, it can do all the things.
Silver werewolf.
Yeah, silver werewolf.
Mhm.
Yeah, all that
all
stuff.
that.
Okay.
Well, thankfully, my kind doesn't have any like extreme weaknesses or reactions, but stabbed in the heart is stabbed in the heart when you're,
You've only got
so-
one.
Do you only have one?
I only have one. Dad
Okay.
has two.
Okay.
Interesting.
Julian sighs from the edge of his desk where he's sort of leaning as usual. And he says, I'm conflicted now because wait, no, back up. What time of day is it? It's like evening, right?
Mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon?
Yeah.
Mid-afternoon. Cool. Yeah, then he doesn't say anything.
Everything okay over there, Julian?
if the Watchers are behind this, no offense, but I have a lot more to worry about than a Hellmouth.
Which is fair. I mean, can you really? I don't doubt that the Watchers would want some way to manufacture Slayers instead of hoping that the one they end up with is
Amenable.
biddable, whatever you want to say. And of course, it's always been something of a boys' club. So if they can make something that'll affect a man just as much as a woman, if they could have their, their patriarchal Slayer, I wouldn't put it past them in the least. The question would be, if they did it once, why aren't there more of them? I feel like there would be, if they could like mass produce them, there would be more of these knives floating around. We'd have more stories of demons being wiped out with artifacts like this.
It's entirely possible that once the knives did what they were supposed to do, any survivors took the knives with them. If I were a Baylor, I wouldn't want a Baylor slaying knife running around. I'd put that in a hole and leave it there.
That is fair.
Are
Maybe
there
they're
Baylors? Is that
incredibly
actual
difficult
demon?
to
There are demons that are kind of like Baylors, but
Okay.
sorry, Cheryl, go ahead.
incredibly difficult to make. Maybe they require a Slayer each or something. But
Hold on. Actually, I want to test something.
What?
I hate to do it. Julian, can you unwrap the knife again? I'm not going to pick it up. But while we're back here, I just want to see something. And he just kind of and turns into his demon form.
Okay.
Jack visibly
already
startles.
I'm
seen
double
it.
checking my own lore here.
He's already seen it. He's already seen it, but it still startles him. It's like,
Oh.
it's fine when it's a vampire, but why is it weird when it's you?
Because it's a more pronounced change, maybe. I mean, it's the skin, the
I guess,
tattoo-like
and the
lines, and the slightly sharper teeth, the claws, the eyes, just the whole thing. It's like a whole body sneeze when you do that.
Okay.
Above table, I get those. The fucking hurt.
Okay.
And he's just gonna touch not the edge of the blade, but he's gonna touch the blade itself with one of his demonized fingers.
Ash is like on standby, ready to like grab either Yay or the knife if something happens. Just like it suddenly becomes sentient. Ash is just like
Yay,
but on standby.
Who are you looking at?
I don't like that this appears to have gotten stronger, but hold on, let me get out my trusty D6 here because we got 2, 3, 4. No, actually, we've only got 4 other people you could look at. So get out a D4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking at Ash.
Yeah.
You don't feel any malice towards Ash.
Well, no, that's
Ash does what they're supposed to. Ash does the right thing. Ash does their job. Ash vanquishes evil. You approve of Ash.
yeah, it's my bestie there.
But is
But
this like amplified? Like
this is like incredibly amplified. This is a sense of you use the term zealot and you can feel the drive to destroy evil. But Ash isn't evil.
No. But so it doesn't like burn him or anything. It's just Ash is awesome. Ash does the right thing. Comrade Ash.
sorry, are you? She's gonna
How
look at Yay.
how delicately are you touching the blade?
He's doing like a full-on finger press. He's not doing like is the skillet hot touch. He's just boop.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to make me a constitution, no doubled, just straight constitution.
Okay. It's a good thing I got a lot of that. 14.
It like it hurts, but it doesn't do any like lasting damage.
Okay, he's doing. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that really
So
would have
the skillet
sucked.
was hot,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Skillet was out. He's like, that really would have sucked to end up lodged between my ribs. The pointy stuff alone, he's gonna like that was like touching an oven that was almost too hot
and really convincing.
Yeah, and I'm not even a full-blooded demon.
Yeah,
I hate that thing even more.
Yeah, Julian's gonna wrap it up again and put it back in the box, lock it.
But
and then he's gonna go he's gonna take the box with him, go to the weapons locker, grab some chain and another lock and wrap that up and lock that.
All right. I will say that the knife really approves of Julian and Ash. I didn't see Jack in my review or Cheryl, but it really approves of the Watcher and the Slayer. They do what they're supposed to do. They are beings worthy of admiration, and they're fighting the good fight. And for some reason, I also noticed you look really good in those pants, Ash. I don't know what that had to do with the knife, but
Ash just kind of takes a look at their leggings and like just like to the side, like a leg like twists and goes, "Hey, you don't get to touch that knife again either."
That is America's ass.
It's America's ass right there.
But thanks.
So yeah, I hate that thing with the passion of 1,000 fucking suns. That thing is the worst. And if I could fire it actually into the sun, like if I could just Superman yeet it into the heart of a nuclear star, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I personally am not convinced that it'll be of much use unless I'm in a room surrounded by vampires and no one else.
I can understand why Danny wanted to use it, assuming he didn't know what the side effects were.
But he only ever touched it with one gem in it, right?
I don't think
Maybe
Danny
he
touched
didn't know
any part of it.
No, he came to us with it, but he never actually touched it.
Maybe he just didn't know its full
Can't imagine it
potential.
would be particularly good for vampires.
No, I'm pretty sure if Danny had actually tried to touch it, I don't know about half power, but if he tried to touch it now, anyone with the demonic taint in it, and let me tell you, I could feel disapproval from the knife. I don't know if I was just projecting on that or what, but it definitely didn't like me. And once again, I'm only half demon. Something like a vampire or, one of the, clacks or demons or whatever, those, I don't think they could even actually hold it. I'm pretty sure it would just start burning them until they let go. Or forced it to turn on themselves. That's the other reason I didn't want to actually grab the handle.
You hear another voice from the doorway of the training room.
And once again, Ye almost just like freaking PF Chang. He's like
a warm welcome once again.
I'm so jumpy right
what
now.
What about vampires and the knife?
It's probably not a good idea if you touch it.
Yeah, I'm half demon and it burned me just touching the side of the blade. Cheryl picked it up and immediately tried to stab me in the chest with it.
Danny just holds the book out to Julian and says, I looked through it, man, I didn't see anything else. But Julian turns to the page that he remembers the information on the knives being, and essentially he kind of reads it like that out loud. mumbling. And then he says, okay, a long time ago, there was a town that was constantly under attack from demons. Called upon the Slayer, but the Slayer never arrived. So the local warlocks brought together every magic they knew to imbue a local girl with the powers of the Slayer. Okay, we knew that. The warlocks took the powers, divided them, and stored them in 3 knives. We know about the 3 knives. They knew the powers could be used for ill, so the knives were hidden separately. But if they were ever to need a Slayer again, they could bring the knives back together and they would fuse and grant the wielder the powers of the Slayer. Where's the... Is it just me, or does that seem like a weird jump? Like, why take the powers away?
Well,
Probably because there was an unintended effect when the powers were given.
If we're talking about unintended effects,
My thought exactly. These warlocks went rogue and tried to do the job of the powers that be, and I guess, as you guys would say, they fucked around and they found out.
Yeah, I mean, that knife seems like the kind of thing that would have you, first slaughtering every demon you come across, and then maybe broadening its definition of evil to anyone who uses magic is evil. Anyone who does X or Y is evil. It seems exactly like the kind of blade that would have
anyone
you
who
kill.
stops me from doing my job.
Yeah. You would kill until there's nobody left, and if it could find a way to define the wielder as evil too, it would have them turn it on themselves. So, yeah. So maybe the Watchers didn't make this, but I don't really like the idea of it being in their hands either.
Ash takes like a really deep breath. I can't believe I am about to say this.
Julian looks concerned.
Even Ye's like, oh, and then he goes, whoa, oh, and goes back to his normal human self before somebody else wanders in. He doesn't want to have to kill the smoothie guy.
Could it be Slayer made? As a last emergency effort, if the Slayer dies and they can't find another one and all that stuff, and it just went awry?
In case of Hellmouth break glass?
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe, but Slayers aren't normally magical themselves, or they're magical.
I mean, they would have had to have had
do.
help, of course.
Slayers attract witches like flies. No offense, Cheryl.
Ash just looks at Cheryl like, "Hey."
You just very quick. No offense.
The point of this was that the Slayer didn't appear. They had no Slayer, so they made one.
Right.
I mean, that could all be hearsay.
Like a contingency option.
I really think this was a desperate and poorly thought out Hail Mary that just doesn't go away. Like, do we even know how to break it apart into its component knives again?
No.
Book doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
Okay, so regardless of who made it, nobody touches it. We don't tell anybody it exists.
No, absolutely not.
Well, here's a problem. And he points at the rat. Somebody knows we have it. Somebody very unscrupulous knows we have it.
Rogue Watcher knows we've had it. He's a rat now.
He's a rat now, but even if Cheryl doesn't let
be a rat forever.
Yeah, even if Cheryl doesn't let the spell go, and I would not blame her for keeping it on forever.
Sorry, he's not going to be a rat forever. Is that the plan?
I think the Watchers will forcefully break the spell. I know you're kind of frighteningly powerful yourself, but the Watchers have a huge network of people they can call on, right, Julian? Like experienced
Yeah, but
witches
just
who open
undoing
theaters
my
and-
spell is without my consent is a bit of a interesting way to go about it. Currently, the plan is to have the dangerous person as a rat, but we can discuss when they arrive.
No matter what, eventually he's not going to be a rat anymore. The Watchers Council will break it. They'll ask you to break it and offer you something to do it. The spell is going to end up being undone eventually. Rogue Watcher or not, he's an asset. And while I'm not a
Danny
Watcher
says,
myself,
"Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. No,
Oh.
you finish."
I was going to say, while I'm not a Watcher myself, the Watchers have never struck me as ones to mothball a valuable asset.
Danny, everybody make me a perception notice check as Danny says, "Why don't we just kill him?"
12.
I accidentally put my D10 back, and I don't know why.
12.
Why did my brain think you were gonna say
Oh, wait, no,
I accidentally
15.
put my D10 in my spaghetti?
Me with a pig, you with spaghetti. Okay.
It's one of
It's
those
fine.
sort of
It's one of those
multi-brain nights.
days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So perception notice, you said?
Yeah, perception notice.
15.
That's a 7.
Math. 12.
12. Okay. Cheryl and Jack, you're just like, this is a lot.
Kind of sort of looking at the knife, looking at Julian. He wants to say something, but he's holding his tongue.
Cheryl and Ash, you notice Danny's tone sounds tense, and you notice his fists are balled to the point that his knuckles are white.
I'm guessing it looks like it's not something easy for him to even say.
Correct.
Trust me, Danny, we have considered that option. That would probably turn out bad for us in the long run. Rogue Watcher or not, they already know we have him. And if we kill him, the Watchers aren't going to be happy. Because once again, I hate him. I barely know him, but I hate him. He's smarmy, but he's talented. He knows things. I have no doubt he has all sorts of connections. He's got he was throwing around magic when we fought him. If they can bring him back into the fold and get him back in the marching line, he'll be extraordinarily valuable. So us killing him, tempting as it is, I was gonna look over at the cage for a moment. Tempting as it is a bad from a pissing off the Watchers Council at us thing, and 2, it's morally not right.
I'm not a murderer.
No, in the heat of the moment, trying to defend myself, or if I know, unrepentant child-eating demon, or soulless vampire. No offense, like the vampires that don't seem to have problems suggesting murdering people.
I know the
cracking.
type.
And
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever be forgiven by the Watchers Council if I killed a Watcher rogue or not. So
Yeah, exactly.
Julian speaks up and goes, "Yeah. What if he goes missing?"
You gonna take him home and keep him in your apartment until he finds a way to break the spell? And
is he gonna go live on a farm, Julie?
Because here's the thing, I hate the idea of him being loose, but I hate the idea of him being like in your apartment or consigned to, the science department here, or whatever.
You know, I looked over the university's ethics board, and lab rats are treated really nicely here.
We
I
did
know.
initially talk about this.
We did.
We talked to you about what type of person this gentleman was. And we also deemed that we're not necessarily the best fitted people to lay judgment on this watcher. It's
Yep.
very possible that his weird,
What if
villain-esque attitude and persona was because of the knife. But on top of that, we're not the ones to dish out fate. If he comes across us again, sure, we'll learn from our mistake, we'll become jaded, but we're not there yet.
I'm gonna do something
Carol's
that's
right.
probably going to hurt a whole hell of a lot. He goes, just kind of goes, crisscross applesauce on the floor, because I like saying crisscross applesauce more than just Lotus. On the floor, he's like, "Can I have the case with the knife? Don't take it out. Just."
Julian kind of thinks he might know what you're trying to do, and he'll be like, okay. He'll take the case and put it in your hands.
Yeah, he puts it on his lap. Yeah, he digs around, gets out another thing of Morton salt, pours a line around himself, makes a little circle.
Julian's like, oh god.
I'll sweep it
Salt.
up. It's not like in, room rounding circle here. He just puts it in a circle, and he's like, "If I
Do it
start
before you
bleeding
leave."
from my face holes, please break the circle."
Mhm.
And then he's going to try to commune with the powers that be about what they should do about this horrible and dangerous knife.
Okay. Make me a willpower occultism roll.
I know I rolled a 7 on the notice roll, but that thing with Danny, player has some thoughts. Would I have noticed anything based on that, given my background?
Given your background, what particular part of your background?
I'm thinking initiative implants. I know that they can literally neuter a vampire with a brain chip, and it's been 20 years.
Based on what you know, it's a possibility. It didn't seem to actually make me an intelligence knowledge roll.
Well, he's rolling that max roll 15, baby.
15 for the powers that be. Okay.
On
Okay,
rolling this one.
yay.
That is a 10.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, yay, one moment. Just real quick, Jack. You don't really know a lot of specifics of how these chips worked or how they actually affected, other than like essentially quote unquote neutering these creatures. So you wouldn't know exact signs to look for. So it remains a distinct possibility, but
It was
you
enough for
cannot
Jack to pique
be
his
certain.
interest.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
be certain.
Okay.
Yay, you focus on this box with the knife in it, and you try to sort of sync this intuition you have been bestowed with to the intensity being emitted from this knife to sort of communicate to the powers that be what you have perceived. And I want you to make me a perception doubled roll.
Well,
12. You don't
So 2 successes.
You don't get a lot from the powers that be, but you get a couple intense waves of intuition. You get the idea that these vamps are insanely powerful. You get the intuition that a stake to the heart might have to go in a little further if it's wielded by anyone but maybe Eugenie. And you get the sense, actually you get a vision.
Oh joy. I mean, I was after one, but these are never fun.
This one actually makes you kind of numb. You just see hands. And let me keep going. Grasping the knife in succession. One feminine presenting, one masculine presenting, another masculine presenting, but different from the original one. And just this cycle of different hands grasping the knife in succession. Some of them look familiar, like your own hand. Make me one more perception notice roll.
$16.
16. One of them is definitely Ash's hand. One of them is Cheryl's hand, perfectly pedicured.
Mm-hmm.
One of
them's mine.
them. What?
I said one of them's mine, obviously.
One of them is yours. Two of them you've seen before. In a different vision.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
But there's nothing ever concrete or established or determined about this vision. It's almost like you're watching a roulette that hasn't landed yet.
We get to play Spin the Dagger. Woo!
And that is when the vision breaks. And you're left with the edges of your vision kind of blurred and your head's foggy and the tips of your fingers tingle where they touch the box.
Well, we should take the knife. And he'll describe the vision. He like, I saw, it was like, and he's gonna chuckle. He's like, it was kind of like Spin the Dagger or something. I saw my hand touching it, Ash's hand, Cheryl's hand, some other hands, up to and including the hands that I think belonged to the Ubermensch vampires.
Actually, addition, you would have seen Jack's hand, yes.
And Jack, do this for me. Jack's hand.
I haven't touched the knife yet.
You haven't yet, but you could. The feeling I'm getting is that the knife is going to be important, but even the powers that be can't see who's going to be end up with it, using it in the end. But I did also get the sense that these two are stupidly crazy strong. Like, even me or Ash would have to really, really work to actually get a stake into their heart deep enough to inconvenience them. Eugenie could probably do it pretty easy. But anybody on our team, we're at more of a disadvantage than I thought. Like, I knew they were strong, but this is a little beyond the pale.
So our scoping mission might be a little bit more important than we thought it would be.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to scope. We're definitely going to need to bring the knife with us, because if nothing else, it will do a metric ton of damage to those fangy fucks. More than just a stake to the heart or swallowing holy water, if we could even replicate that trick. That was still really, really cool, Cheryl. I'm just putting that out there.
Absolutely. I'll make sure that we're stacked up for vials, but maybe it stays in Ash's back pocket.
Yeah.
He's been able to wield it without going protagonist on us.
Put together some sort of holster so it's not touching me.
What if I just wear? I
touching
guess
me.
if I wear gloves, I won't get the superpower.
No,
associated with it.
Cheryl.
Mm.
No.
But like, if they match the leather of the jacket and like it looked
No offense,
essentially
Miss
like an
Dark,
extension.
but your form is terrible.
I'm aware I haven't had to stab somebody before.
He's
I
like,
have.
her form is lovely. What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I saw that limp
I'm a little
wrist. It was
fuzzy
awful.
here. It's
I'm just being honest.
I
No
have
knife,
been
Cheryl.
going to the gym a little bit more actively, but my experience with medieval combat is ineffective.
Right.
we
And
should probably work on that just in case.
yeah, we should work on that, but maybe no knife wielding yet, Cheryl.
Sure. I'll stick with
Stick with the gloves, though.
gestures
That's a good
towards
idea.
towards the hole in the ground, because I'll stick with what I know.
Yeah, and maybe a backup crossbow.
That could work too.
Okay, so we have everything we need for the scouting mission tomorrow. We have the warning from the powers that be that we should really be taking this knife, because these bastards are crazy, scary, and crazy and scary.
I'll put together some sort of holster to hold it so I don't have to touch it and it's not touching me, but it will be nearby and secure and there.
I know a few red caps. I'll see what I can do about getting a shotgun.
Can you do
Ash just
wooden?
goes, okay. Like,
Can you do wooden flechettes instead of buckshot?
You'd be surprised how easy that is to find. People are superstitious as hell around here.
Yeah. All right, well, that could be fun. But all right, so we've got a plan. I would also like to, just in case, I'm going to bring my my barrel of holy water to station up by the cap, because if nothing else, running away while, vampire acid is pouring down the ladder might just be the thing that lets us all get back out of there again.
We're classy.
Mahogany pellets because we're classy.
Mahogany. Just fun to say.
It is.
Mahogany.
Any last words?
Last words?
Comments, thoughts, concluding comments or thoughts.
Chris, don't scare me like that.
I do know how to kill
Next
you.
episode opens with a rock falling into the library.
Oh, we'll walk into our demise. We already have it planned out.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't think Ash has anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we'll drop the curtain. And depending on how next week goes, it may be the start of the season finale.
Da-da-da.
Season finale, part 1.
Exactly.
Because it's Buffy.
It's
there
gonna
has
be
to
a
2
multi-part.
parts.
Yeah, season finales never start or never one part. Come on.
No,
Never, ever.
never.
So, with tonight's game concluded, the only thing left for me to do is thank yous. Wait. Character art
Right.
courtesy of Hero Forge. Background images courtesy of Pixabay. I did it. I think I forgot to do something else too, but whatever.
Thank yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
Chris.
Thank you, producer Kevin, as always.
Yes, thank you
Throughout the
Kevin.
storms, specifically.
We're just we're just throwing the script out tonight. Thank you, Bat Kyle. Thank you, Bison. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Mana. Thank you, everyone who is in chat and who has been watching on the VOD or the YouTube video. If you made it this far, you clearly liked it, so give the video a like, please.
And hit subscribe.
Yep, hit subscribe too, and because there's gonna be more. Last but not least, second to last but not least, once again, happy Leif Erikson Day. And
Happy Turkey Day for the Canadians.
Yep.
yes, happy Turkey Day for the Canadians.
Leif Erikson landed in Canada.
He did.
He did.
Dinga dinga durgan, my friends. And
Dinga dinga turkey.
and last but never ever least, be nice to each other, please.
Farewell.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.